The first time it happened, I thought it was the wind. I was home alone, the kind of quiet that settles in after a long day of work, and the kind of silence that makes you feel like you're the only one left in the world. I had just finished dinner, the smell of burnt toast lingering in the air, and I was trying to catch up on some emails. The house was still, the kind of stillness that feels like it's holding its breath. Then it came a low, wet sound, like something was dragging itself across the floor. I froze, my eyes darted around the room, but there was nothing. Just the empty kitchen, the flicker of the overhead light, and the hum of the fridge in the background. I told myself it was the pipes, or maybe the cat, though the cat was in the bedroom sound asleep. I went to check the closet just to be sure. It was closed, the door latched, and the air inside was still. I didn't think much of it. I told myself I was just tired, that my mind was playing tricks on me. But the next night, it happened again. This time, it was louder, more insistent, like a voice trying to get through the wood. I didn't answer, I didn't move. I just listened, my heart pounding in my chest, waiting for the sound to repeat. It did, and this time it was clearer, like someone was whispering, just on the edge of hearing. I turned away, shaking my head, trying to convince myself it was nothing. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. Something was in there, and it was waiting. The whispers grew louder each night, slipping through the cracks of the door like a breath held too long. I started to notice things, small, strange things. The closet door would tremble when no one was near, the hinges creaking even though I hadn't touched them. Once I caught a shadow flickering behind the panel, just for a second, like a hand reaching out and then pulling back. I told myself it was the light, the way it caught in the corners, the way it made everything look different. But the voices didn't stop. They got clearer, more urgent. Sometimes they spoke in a language I didn't understand, but I could feel their meaning. They were asking for something. I didn't know what. One night I decided to open the door. The latch was stiff, the wood warm to the touch, like it had been sitting in the sun all day. I pushed it open slowly, my breath shallow, my fingers trembling. The closet was dark, the air thick and heavy, like it had been trapped there for years. I reached out, my hand brushing the back of the door, and the voices stopped. For a moment, silence filled the room. Then, a single word echoed from the darkness. Open. I stumbled back, my heart hammering, and slammed the door shut. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the living room, the lights on, the blinds drawn, waiting for something to happen. And when it did, I wasn't sure if I was ready to face it. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the living room, the lights on, the blinds drawn, waiting for something to happen. And when it did, I wasn't sure if I was ready to face it. The silence was too heavy, too thick, pressing against my ears like a weight I couldn't shake. Then a sound, soft, like a sigh, but not from the room. It came from the closet. The door, which had been closed all night, was now slightly ajar. I stood, my legs like lead, and approached it. The air smelled different now, metallic, like rusted nails and old blood. My fingers brushed the edge of the door, and the whispering started again, but this time, it wasn't just voices. It was a presence, pressing against my mind, trying to get in. I turned away, my breath coming in short, panicked gasps, but the door was open. I looked back. The closet was no longer just a closet. It was something else, something that had been there all along, waiting. I reached out, my hand trembling, and touched the back of the door. The moment my skin made contact, the world shifted, the walls melted, the floor tilted, and I was no longer in my house. I was in a place I didn't recognize, a place that felt ancient and wrong. The voices were louder now, not just in my ears, but in my mind, speaking in a language I had heard before, in dreams, in nightmares. I tried to scream, but my mouth wouldn't move. I tried to run, but my legs wouldn't obey. And then I saw eyes watching from the shadows, not from the walls, but from the walls themselves. The closet was alive, and it had been watching me all along. The eyes were everywhere now, not just in the walls, but in the corners of my vision, in the reflections of the windows, in the flicker of the lights. I tried to blink them away, but they stayed. The voices grew louder, overlapping, speaking in a language that wasn't just heard but felt, like a cold hand pressing into the base of my skull. I tried to scream, but my throat was dry, my voice trapped behind a wall of silence. I stumbled backward, knocking over a lamp, its glass shattering against the floor. The sound echoed, but it wasn't the sound of glass breaking. It was the sound of something else, something ancient and hungry, waiting for me to break. I ran, my feet pounding against the floor, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I reached the front door, but it was locked. I tried the handle, but it wouldn't budge. I pounded on it, shouting for help, but no one answered. Voices were louder now, Not just in my ears, but in my bones, in my blood, in the air I breathed. I pressed my ear to the door, listening for the sound of a key in the lock. But all I heard was the whisper of something moving behind the wood, something that had been there all along, something that had been waiting for me to come home. I turned back, my hand trembling, and looked into the mirror. My reflection was smiling. Not me, not the person I knew. It was something else, something that had been watching me all along, something that had been in the closet, in the walls, in the silence. I reached out, my fingers brushing the glass, and the world went black.